Welcome back to my channel, everyone. This show's again Red Fox come back with another episode of Crusader Kings 3 in the Bronze Age Reborn mod, where I'm going to be continuing on as Egypt. As you can tell, I've made quite a bit of progress in the current area that I have right now in Lower Egypt. I've been going to the east quite a bit, but I'm going to try and stop going that way, as I'm trying to stick to the de jure area of Kemet, where I think I've only got like one or two places that are outside of that area right here in the Nit Resu Sapat and also the Eteb of Shep, but I'm going to continue going to the west and to the south here. Hopefully in this episode I'll make a little bit more progress. I've been doing pretty good. I have a lot of gold and a lot of prestige and even piety at this point, so I'm doing pretty well. I think I do have two titles that are not actually um, feudal right now, or I guess it's called urban in this mod here. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. Probably hand those off at some point. Now let's kind of look and see what I have to go after here. So I do have the 12th dynasty, which I think is probably the most problematic, just because of how long it is. It's hard to kind of go after some of these places over here, but they don't have a whole lot, even though it did look like they had a lot of allies. The 10th dynasty is also another problem, but I can't even go for them anyway, due to a truce between them. And the people to the south, I can go for these peripheral kingdoms, but I don't get a whole lot of land, even though it does say kingdoms. It's just because I believe I have areas that are considered part of them. So I think right now I'm going to go ahead and go to the 12th. I also have a claim over here on these guys down here, but this is actually the biggest problem because they have quite a few allies right now, and it does make it a little bit difficult to actually go for them. And plus, it's only for one piece of land anyway, so I think I might wait on this one, and I might just have to eat the loss on that claim that I got. So let's continue on. Let's see what we can actually get here. A lot of these little kingdoms right here, I don't know if it's necessarily worth it to go for them. I'm thinking it might be because I did say I could get this one here, and it is two pieces of land. I want to see what the actual best one to go for is. If I can get, like, the most land will probably be the most ideal. Like, if I have to settle for two, I think I might, but I would prefer to get three if there is one that I can do that for. I just don't know if there is. Maybe this one right here, if I can find that one right there. No, well, okay, well, this one is three right here, so that does help. The only problem is they're not connected, so it does kind of look a little wonky doing that. This one right here is two as well, so it is look like I'm going to have to go for this little three spot up here. So let's go for the Tesheb Nech. Wow, I cannot pronounce that at all. The Netjer Sapat. That was just like a really hard word to say. But let's go ahead and go for it. So alright, so now I'm going to have to call all of my allies that are, sizable here. I'm probably not going to go for the 200 one right now. If I need to, I'll call them up, but I think I'm just going to be sticking to just those big two for right now. And let me go ahead and raise all my guys here. I'm going to have to run these guys off here so I can get them out of my land. Let's go to 5 speed, and let's get moving. Alright, there we go. Awesome. So let's see. Oh wow, and those guys were okay. That was actually the army of the guy I went to war with. So that actually went as good as it possibly could have. That's actually kind of wild here. Let me go ahead and disband our troops now, I guess. Okay, did not expect for that to happen. That's actually beyond convenient. I do need to go ahead and see what piece of land I have down here because I don't really want to keep this if at all possible. Let me go ahead and grant these titles to this guy here. And is this guy also part of my land here? He is. Go ahead and grant him that land right there. I think those were the two that were non-feudal. Yeah, okay, those were the non-feudal ones. So that actually worked out good. And let's see. I'm trying to see which piece of land that I own that are not like directly connected to me. Because if I can get rid of a few of them, I think I will. Might go ahead and find the worst one of these pieces over here. I think I might go ahead and get rid of this one right there. Let's give it off to my son, one of them, so that way I don't have to worry about that issue later on whenever we have some inheritance issues. Because this is still my heir, but I don't think he gets anything now. He gets one piece of land, he gets two, so it actually kind of works out pretty good here. We do have the effect. We do have the ability to find a holy order, which is pretty good. I actually have a lot of different areas to do this to. Let's Well, let's go back to the main one here. Let's do that. Now let's find a holy order. That's actually pretty cool. I don't know if that's actually going to help me any, but it is pretty neat all the same. I think pretty much everything is the same religion over here. Yeah, it does look like everything is going to be Kemetic, so it doesn't really help with this, but I guess it does help if I have any of these guys over here in the Canaanite area to come after me. So that's pretty nice. Um, let's see what we have here. Can't really do anything with that sun. 12th Dynasty is kind of unfightable right now. The upper... Okay, yeah, Upper Egypt. I think I can probably just go for it, I think, at this point. Let me go for Tuata. I'll go for this one piece of land. It is... yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just trying to get as much as I can while I can, because hopefully the truce between the 10th Dynasty doesn't last too much longer. And let's see, do I have, like, what is the actual, like, troop count here? So he does just have more troops straight up than me, so let's go ahead and do the same thing I did. Let's go ahead and call the big guys in. I'll even call the small one just to make sure I have enough here. Okay. He did have some allies join him. Or no, it must be ours. It looked like the ally thing was red, so I thought it was his at first. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just some little thing with the mod. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway. Continuing on. Let's march our guys right here. Our allies will join relatively soon. Okay, he did get a mercenary band here so now he's up to 5,500. And the thing about the mercenary band is they're stronger than we are, so we do need to get over here. I want to go to this little mountain pass right here so I can have a pretty good defensive holding right there. Okay, now we can actually do this here. So let's see. He has no troops to really give, so let's just use the hook on that to get the levies. And children like guardians, let's just do that and do that. That's fine. I want to see. So I have 128 gold, 138 now, or 124, 138, and now we're just skyrocketing at this point. I'm waiting for our allies to get here first before I do anything else. Now with that, I can probably just go ahead and march them down there because these guys are really close. Betrothed can marry, which is nice. That's good. And it does look like... Are they following this band right here? Because if so, that kind of makes sense why they're running that way. Okay, it does look like they're coming. 5,600. Let's see. We can probably go up here and attack these guys real quick, I think. I'm not sure if we can actually outrun them. It does look like we can, so that actually helps out quite a bit. Okay. I'm not worried about this right now. Let's see. Mercenary bands, special mercenaries. Doesn't really help any. Not at war with a hostile faith. We can't use those like I thought. This would be helpful, or this one right here would be helpful, but obviously can't really use those right now. Alright, available perks here. Let's do wash hands. I'm trying to think here. What can we do? I want to make sure that I have the best... Okay, I do have the best general here. Oh, man. It does look like we're going to lose this because my allies were so far away there. This kind of makes things tough. The mercenary band that he got makes things pretty difficult, and I don't think I'm going to be able to win here. So if I lose this, it sucks, but it doesn't really hurt too bad. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so that's fine. So now we know that going after these guys down here to the south is going to be quite a pain. Ooh, and we did lose quite a bit there, so... All right, so the gold is actually pretty horrendous. Man, 800 is a wild amount of money. We are going to get some gifts here, so that helps out quite a bit. And we're also getting like some factions now. Looks like wants lower providence control. Not really worried about that at all. Okay, so we're back to parity there. We're back to what we need. Let's go ahead and see the 10th Dynasty still unable to go to war with yet. Sinai, they might be worth going after. Let's see. The kingdom. Let's see if we go for the Holy Kingdom. I think I might do this. You may only attempt one major religious war per lifetime. Did we go for another one? don't remember going for another one. Well, if so, we can still go for this one, though. That's fine. I'll also, maybe it also, let me check this real quick. The High King. Okay, so yeah, no, it's not a piety issue. I was thinking maybe it was a piety issue, but it's not. So I must have went for one of those at some point. That's okay. Let's go for Tom Efkat. And even though I said I was going to try to avoid this, it does look like these two are going to take too long. It does look like I can't really go for Upper Egypt. They're a little bit too strong for me. So I think that's probably just better for me to go this way, take a few pieces of land, and just hand them out to some different people. Even though I'm not going to be going for this empire anyway, the land itself will give me enough troops to make it worth going for there. So just kind of a little bit of a pivot there. I was hoping that I would be able to like shuffle these different wars around, going like 10th, 12th, and upper, and then just kind of going back and forth between them. But it looks like without my ability to consistently beat upper, I'm going to have to just go and get some land from some other people to eventually pass them up. So not a real big deal, but all the same. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's get this. It's no cost, which is awesome. I was thinking it might cost me a little bit of money there, but it does not, or cost me piety, but it doesn't. So let's go ahead and let's go for their capital. I am curious to see if they get anybody to come and help them, but it doesn't look like they are. So let's go ahead and call these guys here. Kingdom of Am. Okay, we'll do that. Okay. Oh, I did go into the negatives there for a brief moment, but that's all right. Okay, awesome thing I can do here. I can go call this guy for the peasant uprising, call that guy for the peasant uprising, and this is going to be no cost to me, so this actually kind of helps out a little bit. Hopefully these guys actually go for that instead. That would be pretty awesome, because I'm not going for them right now. Hopefully they don't do anything too crazy. 47 right there is actually awesome. Let's go ahead over here and take this one next. Ooh, wow, 15 months is a while. Wow, 4,900. So yeah, that's a pretty rough war up there. So that kind of sucks. Oh, the peasant uprising ended. Okay, that actually helps out tremendously. It probably means that it's going to reset here soon, but I'm not too worried about it. So let me see here. I want to go over here and siege this. Never. Awesome. Peasant uprising. Peasant uprising. Do that one and that one. Awesome. All right, let's move our guys up here and let's take on their troops. I think with that we should be able to get this to 100% pretty quick. I mean, without a doubt, they're going for their capital, so I'm not shocked by this at all. The traitor be known. Beautiful. It does look like the peasant uprising was defeated, so that's also very helpful. And then there is also the 100%. So another really fortunate war. So two really fortunate wars here. Even though I did have the loss to the guys down here, it does help a little bit. So let's get that going. Let me just see that. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and grant him a few places here. Go ahead and grant him those two areas in the mountains. Because they're both tribal, if I'm not mistaken, so they don't do me any good, really. We can continue on here, so no one else to really ransom off. Player Aaron's son, player Aaron's son, the daughter I'm not worried about, and then grandson, there we go. Awesome. So now with that, I should be able to go after the 10th right here, I feel like. Okay, yeah, I can. Awesome. And I can really only go for this right here. So at least it's two pieces of land, so that does help. I'm going to call my real big one right here, and then also this guy here. I don't think I'm going to need anything more than that. I think I just am going to stomp him from that point. So those two should be more than enough to win. That's fine. Not really worried about the stress too much right now because I can fix that. While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and see if there's some way to lower the stress. Hopefully there's something here in holding court. The 185 gold is fine. Man, that sucks. Okay, and the 200 helps there. Okay. Let me get some gold first, and then I'll look into trying to throw a feast or something to lower the stress level there. Oh wow, a 2-year siege. My goodness, that's a long siege. Wow. Oh, and I gained infirm. Oh, that's awful. Okay, well, that probably means that this character is not going to live for a ridiculously long time, so it's probably good for me to go ahead and get all my ducks in a row here for the next character. Let me go ahead and get rid of all this real quick. He's got 4,800 to my 12,000, so I'm not worried about that at all. And I do now have one too many holdings, so I'm going to have to give away, I guess, this. Let me see something. I do have another son, right, that does get a piece of land, so I think if I give him that, does that lower that? No, he still gets 2, so whatever. He's going to get 3. All right. That is what it is. I'm not too worried about that. Ooh. I need to go up here and attack this guy because, oh, wow, he sieged my capital. I didn't even realize that. Wow, that's, okay, that's really poor on my part. Like, I should never lose that war. Like, 100 times out of 100, I should never lose that war there. I should have been paying attention. Ooh, that's a pretty bad loss. The gold alone makes it pretty bad, even though it's only 2 pieces of land that I'm, like, really missing out on, but still really, really sucks. Alright, let me ransom off this guy. Change this here. I don't need the land, I need the money more than anything. I can end my regency, which is nice. Okay. Counts position, spy master. Okay, well, let's look to see if this guy's the next guy that I can go after, and my character died. Okay. Oh, hold up now. My son died from an illness. He died from cancer at 35, leaving the realm to my 8-year-old grandson, who still has 5 pieces of land. Actually ends up being kind of all right. I didn't really lose that much land. I only lost 3 pieces, and I'm guessing his stewardship is pretty good. Yeah, it's 5. Okay, and that he is being educated for that, so that helps out a lot. Let me see. Let's use this courtier right here. That helps out. That looks like a pretty good one. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay. And activities, I mean, meet peers is probably pretty good here, but I think, let me go ahead and see here. Get all of the best people I can in every position. Sign that. Marshal, yes. Spy master, absolutely. And I think on that note, I'm going to go ahead and call the episode here. There's a lot of stuff happening there, so thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like in the section below. If you want to see more in the future, please subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. It means a great deal. And again, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.